Hello, fine people. Well, I am back. I am bringing you the end of the year. I was going to do a end of year good and bad. That'll probably reserve. But I'm going to finish off 2023 with a bang. More precisely, a banger. So, sporting my new toque my daughter made for me. Tone Deaf Monk logo on it. Loving it. Loving it. It's been good times. These are the best presents when they come from the heart, right? Let's talk about something today. And I know if you watch my videos, some of you say that I get emotional and I put my emotions on my sleeve, and I should be one of these people that speaks in a monotone language and tells you what I heard. Bullshit. That's not me. Let's go. I'm having fun with this one because I'm never going to recommend an IM more than I have for this last one that I found. This was pretty cool, pretty special. Pula. I know that means a dirty word in some languages, and I don't care. I don't speak that language, and I'm not talking about that right now. So let's start off this journey with how I got here and what the hell this is. So surfing AliExpress, found the Pula PA01, and I gotta tell you that this is their accessory kits for all their stuff. There is a little case, not real leather, nice size, comes with tons of tips. All their stuff is gorgeous. This IM and the other one also has the choice of these faceplates. So either this kind of, there's a name for it, but I didn't look it up, like many-faced god or something like that. And it comes with either this kind of red, purple, blue, or the green, blue, red. They're both stunning, absolute stunning. It kind of looks like the The Audio stuff. So the this one is a single dynamic PA01, and it matched the frequency graph factory phenomenal, like bang on. And Tony Tex Arcos also got a set, and he liked it as much as I did, and pretty good value, but I'm not here to talk about that one. So I like that one very much, and as I was surfing, I gotta take this off because I'm sweating on my hair. I got to saw the frequency graph of this one, and marketing, they're like, oh, we're comparing this one to another $1,000 IM with the same kind of frequency response, and it was like, for me, it's like 200 and some Canadian. Works out to be about 155 US once you add a coupon, and I'll put the seller link in the description, and it'll give you a $25 coupon, though he should just, anyway, just ask. And I took the chance, and I bought it, and I know that's a lot of money, like, 155 US, especially if that's really stretching your budget. That being said, the regular price is supposed to be around $400, and I'll tell you straight up, if I bought this for $400, I still wouldn't be upset. Like right now on the market, what do you see? You see hype of hype. Right? You see collaborators doing their hype. I'm not a big fan of collaborations. I'm not a big fan of collaborators. Some people are saying that they're doing it for the hobby to bring down the prices, or bring awareness, and I call bullshit. I think this is the best way to do it. Word of mouth, you buying a set that maybe I recommended or somebody else, and you love it, and you spread the word. I think those are the timeless IMs, the ones that are bangers, the ones that are phenomenal, and this is one of them. At $400, worth the money. At $155, absolutely absolutely no-brainer buy, blind buy. If you trust me, which I hope you do. I feel honestly genuinely bad if somebody says they bought something that I recommended and they don't like it. It honestly crushes me. It affects me more than it should, because I don't do this to shill stuff. I do this to bring awareness to the hobby and share my impressions to see if you should or shouldn't buy something. And so let's talk about the Pula PA02. So it comes with this little case. Just so you know, unboxing, this is your unbox. You unbox it from a cardboard box that it ships in, and you get your cable. In this case, I ordered the 4.4. You can get it in 2.5 and 3.5. A gorgeous, soft SPC cable. Mine's in 4.4 because I like balanced. 2-strand cable, my absolute favorite kinds of cables. Ear hooks, really nice ends. Thank you for making red and blue left and right for the monk. And I do find the case a little small, especially if you put a thicker cable on like I did. And I got my set in... Ooh, let's just unhook it from my DAP here for a sec. That would be good. I've been listening to it nonstop. So I got mine in the blue, kind of green, purple, blue, right? Stunning. Absolute stunning. The shells are about a medium size shell. Nice nozzle length. Again, the way they curve the nozzle in fits into your ear and up, which is beauty. There's a little vent beside the 2-pin connector, marked left and right with a big letter on it. Who is Pula? Well, Pula's been around, I guess, I understand, for years, and I don't think they have made anything that people keep talking about. This will be one of them, absolutely. I've got it on a nice HCK green mood cable. Not a cheap cable. Cost more than the IMs. I just absolutely love this energy. You can find something else with a little bit of gold and copper and silver SPC cables for less. I just really love the synergy of this cable. Not that the factory cable was too far off the sound profile, to tell you the truth. It was pretty damn awesome. But I have this cable and I love it. So there you go. Doesn't fit in the little case. Comes with tons of little tips. Even some red foamies. I mean, you'd buy this package, you're done. You're good. You're set. You wouldn't have to buy anything else if you were just starting off and you put all of your money into this thing. Anyway, we're 8 minutes in, and I haven't really talked about too much about this. One Knowles 9.8 millimeter dynamic driver. So that's different from what you typically see on the market as a 10 mil something. So whatever they've sourced out, I absolutely love this dynamic driver and the bass that it produces. Since I started throwing some hype out there about this set, people have been, well, how does it compare against this? How does it compare against this? And somebody the other day said, how does it compare against the OG Canon that you had? And I looked at the graph and I went, damn, okay. Yeah, it has that OG Canon kind of organic slam and bass that I loved and talked about forever. I'm getting ahead of myself. 2 times Knowles 29869 mids. 2 more Knowles, so it's 1 dynamic, 4 BA total, 4 fingers. And the high end is a 31736 in the Knowles times 2 for the highs. 3-way crossover design, seamless. Probably one of the most coherent IEMs I have ever heard, regardless. The overall tuning of this IEM stays within plus or minus 8 to 9 dB, which for my world makes it an extremely balanced IM. And it sounds like that. It sounds like an extremely fun musical monitor style IM. Forget the Harmonish 96% soup that we get in IMs. This is something different. This is probably, I'm going to go on a limb here, and if you've watched any of my videos for this year, you know I've listened and reviewed some serious kilobuck IMs. I'm going to go on a limb and say that this IM might be the best tuned IM, regardless of price, that I have listened to this year. That's a huge statement, guys. So, very linear, very balanced frequency response across the board makes this one so much more monitor-like and less V or Harmonish. And that's what I fell in love with this one. No tuning switches needed. It's tuned perfectly. I would call this one a neutral balance set with a slight punchy bass, musical bass, and fantastic highs and extension. That's what I'd call this one. If we pull up a frequency graph, I'll just talk about that just to help you understand, because the frequency graph and their hype from their website was bang on again. It measured what I measured it with the 711 and probably a different coupler that they use. But it measured exactly the way it sounds, and it sounds exactly the way it measures. And I'll tell you about that. So there's a very gentle glide. I'm reading some of this off my notes there. Yeah. From 20 hertz to 300 hertz. Very, very nice gentle glide. Done absolutely perfect. And it's about a minus 8 dB slope to the bottom where the mids take over. This makes this bass extremely, well, this dynamic driver is a dynamo. It has the characteristics of musicality. It has the characteristics of slam and the mid-bass slam. And it has the ability to extend and retract in a way that puts a very natural tone to instrumental drums, cello. Nothing is saturated. It leaves the notes long enough to bring out all the nuances, the detail, and the texture of the bass. Still being that punchy. There's very few dynamic drivers that I find that can hit that combination of musical and punchy at the same time, not having too much sub bass, not having too much mid bass. This is an absolute perfect tuned bass with a great dynamic driver. Now, for instruments, just talking about like pianos, cellos, drums, kicks, they all sound authoritative, have the right note weight and the right tonality, the right correct timbre of what the instruments should sound like, with the right note weight and the right, they just sound natural in a way that is not reminiscent of its price. That's for sure. So transitioning into the mid, so you hit that 300 hertz, you do a very, non-boosted glide up until about 800 hertz. So from 300 to 800, it's very flat in the mids or the lower mids. And then we get into the mid-range where most of the music in music happens. And again, this glide up into the highs and where it starts to rise, that's called the pin again, is a very gentle glide. It almost matches the nice gentle bass glide, and again flat, and then starts to raise up into the mids. And with this kind of tuning versus one that raises quite sharp into the upper mids, You won't get a shouty upper mids. You don't get shouty vocals. You don't get forward vocals. So you get a bunny hill. That's what you get. I called it a bunny hill that goes up into the highs, and it peaks around 4,500 hertz, which is really nice. So now, for those people who are treble sensitive, pay attention, because now at around 5 kilohertz, you get about a minus 5 dB from 5 to 6. For those sensitive to this area, this is a blessing. Now, some drop off fast and they don't recover, and that's where you lose details. And this is where the brilliance, I think, of this Pula PA02 comes into effect. So, in order to make sure that strings and instruments to sound crisp and detailed, you need more information. And that's where now this thing does arise again at around 6,500 hertz, and then another sibilant dip where it cuts down again, that really sharp right? You won't get that with this set. And then it raises again more treble information up past 10 to 14,000 kilohertz. Now, there's not a whole lot of music being played in there, but that extra energy and that extra information translates to lots of extra details, some air, and instrument placement. It's doing a fantastic job there to really round out this tuning. The highs on this set are so well done. Amazing, actually. The dips are all in the right places, and the peaks are there to bring out all the details and the nuances in the music. And because the mids don't have this huge upper mids energy, they don't power out. They don't overpower everything else in the tuning. And you get an amazing sense of spatial clues for vocals and instrumentals. And I can't reiterate that enough about this set, about how well balanced it sounds. Because the mids aren't forward and they're not terribly recessed, you get the bottom end instrument. So if there was something, if your IM is following the musical track, and I was listening to some bassy kind of hip hop this morning, some modern music, right? And it had lots of bass in it, and it wasn't, because this is not a bass head level kind of bass boosted harmonish set. It gave you all of that really nice bass, but it still had excellent mid range and excellent highs to balance it off. And again, that's because the whole thing is not too boosted, right? It's not this huge V shape. So back to the bass just for a second, right? It's not overly saturated bass is kind of what I'm saying. It's really purely organic. Whatever's added into the music and into the track, and that's what it blends into the music. It's natural, it's quality, and it's musical. I mean, what else could you ask for? Overall, the tuning is so well done. Could you improve this IM? Yeah, you probably could. You could probably use different drivers. You could use Sonyan BAs instead of Knowles BAs for the mids. You could use, ESTs. You could use something you could do that. But you could then also not sell this thing for the price it's selling for right now. At $400, it smashes other sets. Canon OG, the new 2 probably. Haven't heard that one yet, right? But at $400, and this is less than half of that, with phenomenal tuning and perfect coherency, it leaves you wanting nothing, honestly. I wouldn't change a damn thing. And especially if you could sell this for this money. You know, Linsol hasn't got their hands on this. Penon hasn't got their hands on this. Hi-Fi Go hasn't got their hands on this. And probably when they do, the price will be pumped up. Am I super happy that this is not a collaboration with somebody? Yeah, again, because it's legit. Not everybody's going to be able to get it because it's only on AliExpress, but it'll come probably with, you know, future. One last segment I'm going to interject into here is talking about the size. It's a medium large shell. So if you got teeny ears, probably not going to fit. I got some pictures compared to like the Zen's Up, the Truth Year Red, and the PA01, which is really, really teeny, to give you an idea. The extra part that I really wanted to mention too is sources and tips. So I touched earlier on cables. I don't think it's a cable sensitive IM. Don't think it's a tip sensitive IM. I don't think it's a source sensitive IM either. It's a really well done all-rounder. But again, more monitor like. So if you put it on a Shanling M8 warmer AKM, it's going to sound a bit warmer. If I put it on my X-Duo XD05 with the ESS, sounded more analytical. If I put it on the big stack, which I did, absolutely love it with the topping A90D and the Gishelli 4493 Sparkos DAC that I use. That was magical. But I also tried it on a Truth Year Shiro dongle. And I loved it. So I don't think it's source dependent, tip dependent. Play around. You don't need to have a specific source or warmer, colder, more analytical. It's going to sound great, I think, all around for everything there, which is another good check for this IM. Just to give you in this next segment, so please follow along because I am jumping a little bit around. But I just wanted to share some track impressions and give you a little bit more idea of what the Pula PA02 sounded like to me. So first track, Do It, Ray Morris. In this track, it has some really low sub extension. And this plays the lowest notes, super controlled, musicality, excellent balance of not just the bassy track, but also the vocals. And they're not forward in your face like a V-set would be, right, with the PA01. And there's enough sparkles to move you emotionally in this track. A little Green Day, but not performed by Green Day. How about We Are the Waiting by Vitamin Strike Quartet, so strings. This is a perfect track to showcase the PA02. Strings with all that treble, air, extension are perfectly natural. Strings are musical. They are magical with this set. They have great tone and great layering. That's why I said this track with strings and this quartet band is a perfect showcase. Somebody also asked me in some comments what genres this IM would be good for. And my answer, honestly, is all genres. This is an all-rounder. If you wanted a super, super bassy set, then buy a KZ Caster, buy a Fat Frequency Maestro Mini, right? Scarlet Mini, to be that more colored. But for this will play everything. It just won't be massive bass head. It won't be massive treble head. This is a balanced IM. Tuned perfectly, in my opinion. The best way to describe the PA02 is a monitor-like tuning colored in a way to only boost the wonderful bass and all the instruments to support the mids while the mids play naturally over the entire range. They're not forward, they're not recessed, giving a sense of very large space in the imaging. Great layering, great separation, great details, and depth. The highs are so tastefully done, with lots of sparkle in details that also contributes to this set's incredibly wide stage and spatial clues. Like, it was one of the things that really stood out for me on this set as well, in this particular tuning. Let's go to a little bit more rock. Let's go to Nightlife by Green Day. This was a very cool track, very cool with the stereo mixing going on, center vocals with left and right backups with different depths. Not too many IMs can do that. We're talking very few out of the 100 that I listened to this year that actually could do this. The twinklies and the sparklies were great. The textured bass was a treat. Put a smile on your face. Who Am I? It's not a question, that's the next song. London Grammar. Right at the beginning, you hear instrumental, and you get a sense of different heights. Vocals and bass depth are goosebump material, right? Again, very few IMs at any price point do this. It just gives you a sense of how balanced this set really, really is. Hate Me, Ellie Goulding, a vocal forward track. I know this. And when you switch to this track, a lot of times in IMs, if it's an extra bassy or an extra trebly set colored in that way, vocals, the reason she recorded it with vocal forward in this track was to give you more sense and put more attention into her vocals. But a lot of times the bass and the treble drowns out the vocals, and you don't get a true sense of what she was trying to accomplish in the recording. And with the PA02, I think it really hammers home how it does it correctly, what she was going for, right? True to the source, true to the music. And you get that when you switch it to different IMs. And I was also listening a lot to the Penon Quattro and stuff, where it really has more of a big bass boost, and it really hammered that effect home. Follows the music. The PA02 is not boosted too much anywhere to drown out the rest of the special sauce. Now this track, Solo por Ti, Amiwana, which was the kind of nickname they named the song by the Gypsy Kings. Now I listened to this song because I know in this song that there's some kind of kazoo or whatever it is at the beginning. I probably screwed up that instrument. And there is very, very few IMs that can pull off what I'm going to describe right now. At the beginning stage, there is this instrument. I don't know if it's a kazoo or what exactly is, but it moves from right to left at different heights and depths. Now, some IMs can do it with different heights. This PA02 can do it with different heights and different depths. So from the right side back to the left side, down and front. And you could clearly pick that out. And again, not too many IMs can do that. This is a special IM. We're 27 minutes in. It's a long one. I'm going to sum this up. In 2023, this is absolutely the best purchase that I have made all year. Easy recommendation. I think personally it is one of the best tuned IMs, regardless of money, that I have ever listened to. I'm saying that with a straight face, looking you in the eye. Don't look at my bags under my eyes. I'm suffering from food poisoning from yesterday. So I didn't get much sleep. But I wanted to share this before the end of the year. Some of these sellers have it on for crazy price. And if you can do it, pick up a set. You won't regret it. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry that you don't like it. But I've listened to 1,000 IMs this year at $3,000-$4,000 and at $12. Pula, PA02. Everyone, I want to say thank you to you for my success on my channel. And from the bottom of my heart, this is the Tone Deaf Monk. Thank you very much. Stay healthy, stay safe, be prosperous in 2024. And let's promote love, and let's not educate people on hate. That's my wish for the world. I love you, and I'm out. See you next year with a whole bunch of stuff.